The event will commence shortly. Please take your seat. Our royal and special guests will arrive shortly. Prior to the start of our event, we would like to remind you of the housekeeping rules.
Firstly, please ensure your mobile phones are switched to silent mode throughout the event. Secondly, please minimize your movements in and out of the hall, as well as lower your voices to avoid any interruptions. Thirdly, please rise upon the arrivals of Her Royal Highness, the TENGKU AMPUAN of Pahang, Constitutional Head of IIUM, into the hall. Thank you for your cooperation.
Announcing the arrival of Her Royal Highness the TUNKU AMPUAN of Pahang, Constitutional Head of IIUM, into the hall. Please rise.
Please remain standing as we sing the national anthem, Negaraku, and IIUM anthem, leading the way.
Let's lead the way, lighten the future, share the wisdom to the spirit of Islam. Revelation and reason shall excel, shall prevail. Merging faith and knowledge, we, the Khalifa, we will fulfill the Amanah.
Thank you. You may now take your seat.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Menghadap ke bawah duli paduka baginda Tengku Ampuan Pahang Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandariah binti Almarhum Sultan Iskandar AL-HAJ, Ketua Perlembagaan Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia. Ampun tuanku, beribu-ribu ampun, sembah patik mohon diampun. Patik Pacal Imran Hakimi bin Syahrul Azman.
Dan Patik Pacal Afikah Maisarah binti Aulia Fahriza.
Mohon ampuni limpah perkenan ke bawah duli paduka baginda tuanku bagi patik berdua memulakan susunan artocara majlis pada petang ini. Patik pacar-pacar sekalian yang hadir, merafak sembah dan menjunjung setinggi-tinggi kurnia di atas limpah perkenan ke bawah duli paduka baginda tuanku. Berangkat bercemah duli menyempurnakan the official launching of the 26th Architectural Heritage Studies Exhibition 2026 in conjunction with KAET 30th Anniversary. Sesungguhnya keberangkatan ke bawah duli paduka baginda tuanku adalah merupakan penghargaan yang amat bermakna kepada patik pacar-pacar sekalian. Ampun tuanku.
Patik mohon ampuni limpah perkenan ke bawah duli paduka baginda tuanku untuk patik mengalu-alukan tetamu-tetamu yang turut hadir pada hari ini dan mengendalikan seterusnya acara di dalam bahasa Inggeris. Honorable Tan Sri Abdul Rashid Hussein, President of IIUM, Her Excellency Dr. Mariam Shabina Ahmed, IIUM Board of Governors and High Commissioner of the Republic of Maldives to Malaysia, His Excellency Nel Latifov, the Ambassador of the Embassy of Russia Federation, Honorable Professor Dato Dr. Ahmad Faris Ismail, Covering Rector of IIUM, Your Excellencies and all honorable guests, Professor Town Planner Dr. Marina Binti Muhammad Osman, Dean of Kuliah of Architecture and Environmental Design and KAET Office Bearers, Assistant Professor Dr. Alia Nur Zafira Sanusi, Head of Department of Architecture, lecturers, parents, students of the Architectural Heritage Studies, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening and welcome to the official launching of the 26th Architectural Heritage Studies Exhibition 2026 in conjunction with KAET 30th Anniversary.
Sutera songket panjang 9, panjang sutera hingga kepalanya. Tuanku laksana permata intan, kami menumpang akan cahayanya. Tengah hari cerah, burung bernyanyian, mentari bersemayam, memayung seri. Pameran laras dibuka berkenan, menjelajah sejarah budaya lestari. Ampun tuanku, please allow us to invite Brother Umar Al-Hafaz to lead us in for the dua recitation. Please welcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, grant us peace and firmness in faith, safety and steadfastness in Islam, and guide us to perform all that pleases you. Ya Allah, guide this ummah towards what is best. Fill our hearts with love and compassion, and enable us to spread goodness and peace to all of humanity. Ya Allah, bless all of us gathered here today. Make this day better than our yesterday, and grant that our tomorrow be better than today. Bestow upon us positive and excellent outcomes in all our efforts and endeavors, and protect us from disappointment in this world and in the hereafter. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas sami'ul alim wa tub alaina innaka antat tawwabur rahim. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami memohon kehadrat-Mu dengan sepenuh riayah pemeliharaan agar Engkau mengurniakan kesihatan, ketakwaan dan kesejahteraan kepada ketua perlembagaan kami, ke bawah duli paduka baginda Tengku Ampuan Pahang Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandariah binti almarhum Sultan Iskandar AL-HAJ. Begitu juga kami memohon limpahan taufik dan hidayahmu ke atas, ke bawah duli paduka baginda Sultan Pahang dan ke bawah duli paduka mulia Tengku Mahkota Pahang yang amat mulia paduka-paduka anak anda, putera dan puteri, dan yang mulia paduka-paduka cucunda, juga para pemimpin serta kami sekalian, hamba-hambamu yang mengharapkan rahmat dan keampunanmu. Kurniakanlah kepada kami semua keberkatan, perlindungan dan kesejahteraan hidup dengan kemuliaan dan keagunganmu, wahai Tuhan yang Maha Pengasih. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azaban nar. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Shukran Jazilan, Brother Umar. Your Royal Highness, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, we now would like to invite our Head of Heritage Studies 2026, Sister Wan Khadijah Sophia, to share the students' experience of the course, followed by a brief video that captures the journey and aspiration behind this exhibition. Please welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Menghadap ke bawah duli paduka baginda Tengku Ampuan Pahang, Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandariah binti almarhum Sultan Iskandar AL-HAJ, Ketua Perlembagaan Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia. Ampun, Tuanku, beribu-ribu ampun, sembah batik mohon diampun. Batik Pacal Wan Khadijah Sophia, batik mohon ampuni limpah perkenan ke bawah duli paduka baginda Tuanku untuk batik mengendalikan seterusnya acara di dalam bahasa Inggeris. I am grateful for the opportunity to lead batch Arkan for the 26th Architectural Heritage Studies. I am here to present our batch stories while undertaking these studies. This journey began long before we boarded any plane. It began with curiosity, the kind that pushes you to see, to learn, to understand what the world looks like beyond the classroom. Some of us went to Russia, some of us went to the Maldives. But in truth, we were all searching for the same thing: connection, meaning, and how faith and humanity intertwine across borders. For me, it was Russia, 13 hours from Malaysia to Kazan, a journey marked by exhaustion, not just of the body, but something deeper. We faced many challenges: cash-only signs everywhere, apps that didn't work due to sanctions, and a constant language barrier. Yet, in every difficulty, Allah sent ease. In every misunderstanding, someone smiled, someone helped. What stayed with me most was the warmth of the people, the spontaneous Assalamualaikum from strangers, food shared at the masjid, a receptionist who handed us a tub of candy simply out of kindness. Even in a foreign land, we never felt like outsiders. It reminded me that Islam, in its purest form, is hospitality, humility, and the quiet power of giving. While we learned this in the cold of Russia, our friends in the Maldives witnessed something equally beautiful. Where we found warmth in winter, they found peace in the rhythm of the ocean. If Kazan taught me endurance, the Maldives taught them serenity. Maldives was known as a Muslim country, but they never realized how deeply Islam shaped its soul until they arrived. Beyond their turquoise sea and postcards, they found a nation where faith breathed through daily life. The call to prayer echoed softly across the islands, and to their surprise, The azan and Quranic recitations sounded just like home, familiar, comforting. One evening, while observing fishermen along the shore, they saw a man praying on his boat. The waves swayed gently, yet his salah remained steady, as if the sea itself was part of his prayer. That image stayed with them, faith unmoved even amidst motion. Their hospitality was sincere. They didn't treat them like guests. They welcomed them like family. Their warmth made the foreign feel familiar. In the Maldives, Islam is not loud or ornamental. It is quiet, woven into life, in fishermen's prayers, the echo of adhan over the ocean, and the open doors of every masjid. Now, from the streets of Kazan to the shore of the Maldives, I came to realize that faith is a bridge, one that connects hearts across distance, culture, and language. In Kazan, I witnessed resilience. In the Maldives, they found serenity. Two places worlds apart, yet bound by the same spirit of Islam, lived through compassion, humility, and care. This journey was never just about travel or academic tasks. It was about witnessing the love of God in unfamiliar forms. The 26th Heritage Studies Exhibition, LARAS, themed Layers of Time on the Ancient Roots, the Masjid Architecture Through Land and Sea, explores how masjid architecture becomes a vessel of faith, carrying history, culture, and the spirits of its people. Through this exhibition, we invite others to look beyond the walls, to the stories, the souls, and the faith that brought them.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you. Ampun, Tuanku, beribu-ribu ampun, sembah patik harap diampun. Sekianlah sahaja persembahan ucapan patik, ampun, Tuanku.
Thank you, Sister Wan Khadija. Your Royal Highness, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have the distinct honor and privilege to invite the Honorable Tan Sri Abdul Rashid Hussain, President of IIUM, to deliver his welcoming remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Menghadap ke bawah duli paduka baginda Tengku Ampuan Pahang, Tengku AZIZAH, AMINAH, MAIMUNAH, ISKANDAR, BINTI ALMARHUM SULTAN ISKANDAR AL-HAJ. Ampun Tuanku. Patik mohon ampuni limpah berkenan ke bawah duli paduka mulia Tuanku untuk patik turut mengalu-alukan tetamu-tetamu yang hadir. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good afternoon. It is with immense pleasure and gratitude that I stand before you today to commemorate the joyous occasion of the official launch of the 26th Architectural Heritage. anniversary. Over 3 decades, KATE has evolved into a distinguished academic entity within IIUM, contributing meaningfully to the advancement of architecture, planning, design, and built environment through the integration of professional knowledge and Islamic values. Its graduates now serve as professional researchers and leaders across Malaysia and internationally, reflecting the Kuliah's enduring impact. This year's Heritage Studies exhibition theme is LARAS, which stands for Layers of Time on the Ancient Route, the MASJID architecture to land and sea. I believe this exhibition has manifested KATE's objective of pioneering the integration of the Islamic worldview into the teaching and training of the emerging professional in the built environment. In conjunction with the important anniversary, LARAS exhibition stands as one of the commemorative academic initiatives that showcases KATE's strength in heritage scholarship and design education, embodying its continued commitment in honoring the legacy of the past while preparing future design professionals to shape a more humane and meaningful built environment. I extend my heartfelt appreciation to Her Royal Highness TUNKU AMPUAN PAHANG, the constitutional head of IIUM, for gracing this event with her esteemed presence. Your presence honors us and adds a special significance. Thank you. This event celebrates our graduating students who will be earning the Bachelor of Science in Architectural Studies degree, a program under the Department of Architecture for the Heritage Studies 2026 output. Congratulations to the lecturers who have supervised and guided these students throughout their time at IIUM and in the final semesters, culminating in this successful exhibition. To the embassies of the Russian Federation and the Republic of Maldives for their approval, cooperation, and hospitality in accompanying our program, we thank them for this collaboration. Ahlan wa sahlan to all parents and families who have made personal and meaningful efforts to join this ceremony for their loved ones. Without your financial and moral support, this exhibition may not be what it is today. To the sponsors who have contributed to the university as a place to sow the seed for the year after, IIUM appreciates their generosity and sincere gesture with the utmost esteem, treating industry partners as collaborators. In conclusion, I express my heartfelt appreciation and congratulations to everyone who has contributed to the program's success. This dedication, passion, and commitment to the program are truly inspiring, and I'm confident that together we will contribute to uphold the values that define us as members of this great university. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessings be upon all of us May this event serve as a continuous beacon of hope, unity, and inspiration in preserving the wisdom of our Islamic built heritage for years to come. Sekalian, sahaja persembahan ucapan Fatih menjunjung kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Honorable Tan Sri.
Your Royal Highness, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, please allow us to invite Professor Dr. Ahmad Faris Ismail to invite the President of IIUM to seek the permission from Her Royal Highness, the TENGKU AMPUAN of Pahang, Constitutional Head of IIUM, to be invited to the stage for her royal officiating address.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. The Honorable Tan Sri Abdul Rashid Hussein, President of IIUM. My rector is missing, he's somewhere in Oman, I think. Yep. We do have our deputy rectors here. And Her Excellency Dr. Mariam Shabina Ahmed, the High Commissioner of the Republic of Maldives to Malaysia. Excellency, I have to pronounce his name properly. How do I pronounce N-A-I-Y? Nail or Nail? Nail. Yeah, I got it right then. Nail Latipov, the Ambassador of the Russian Federation. And to our Professor Dr. Ahmad Faris, the covering rector of IIUM, and Your Excellencies, and to all the honorable guests today, ladies and gentlemen, and Assalamualaikum again. This is my afternoon in IIUM today. I was here the whole morning cooking the bubur lambo for more than 3,000 students, I believe. And it gives me great pleasure to be present at the International Islamic University of Malaysia today to officiate the launch of the 26th Architectural Heritage Studies exhibition. As the Kuliah of Architecture and Environmental Design marks its 30th anniversary this year, this occasion carries special meaning for the IIUM community. 3 decades of, how do I pronounce it, Kate or Kates? You pronounce it Kate. So I have to, anyway, Kate or Kuliah of Architecture. Journey reflects its steady growth as a center of excellence in architecture, planning, design, and the built environment, nurturing generations of graduates who now serve society as professionals, academics, and leaders, both within Malaysia and beyond. This milestone is not merely a celebration of time, but a celebration of knowledge, creativity, and service guided by values. In conjunction with this meaningful anniversary, The LARAS exhibition stands as one of the commemorative academic initiatives that embodies CAED's enduring commitment to heritage, scholarship, and thoughtful design. It reflects how the Kuliah continues to bridge the legacy of the past with the responsibilities of the present, inspiring students to appreciate cultural heritage while shaping the future-built environment with wisdom and sensitivity. This exhibition focusing on the magnificent mosque of the Zakabanaya MASJID in Kazan, Russia, and the Old Friday Mosque in Malé, Maldives, offers a unique opportunity to explore the rich tapestry of Islamic architectural heritage. These mosques transcend their function as places of worship. They embody the cultural and historical narratives of their respective regions, reflecting architectural styles, materials, craftsmanship, and spiritual meaning. Through exhibition, we embark on a journey across continents, exploring the diverse expressions of faith manifested in architectural form. The interplay of light and space, structure and symbolism evokes not only admiration but also reflection. I am particularly delighted that this exhibition highlights the architectural heritage of Kazan and the Maldives. This masjid serves as a reminder of the deep historical and cultural ties that bind Muslim communities across regions through faith, knowledge, and shared values. At this point, I must share something a little more personal. Being here today sometimes makes me wonder whether I chose the wrong field altogether. I am currently, as everybody knows, pursuing my master's degree in history. But if I am being completely honest, perhaps I should have studied architecture instead. From a very young age, houses and buildings have always fascinated me. Designing spaces has been quite a passion of mine for as long as I can remember. I suspect this interest may well be inherited from my grandfather, who was always building houses. He didn't use an architect. He would just tell the contractor, I want to build this floor here. And then while they're building, he says, can you add another floor? Oh, I want a balcony here. I want this, I want that, I want that. That was my grandfather. And I think I have inherited that a little bit, because as I'm building my beach house or something, I come back and say, no, I need this here. And I would draw it on a box there. I called the contractor, can you do this? Can you do that? And he said, yes. So I do see my grandfather reborn in me. So as I said just now, my grandfather was always building houses and designing them himself long before architecture software existed. And today I find myself deeply involved in a rather large architectural undertaking that is the renovation of Istana Abu Bakar in Pekan. I must confess, I think I tore everything down. I left only the pillars and the ceilings. Yeah, thank God the ceiling is completely concrete. In 1960 something, I think, all the ceilings were concrete. They didn't believe in this, that. And so, as I said, I left only the pillars and the roof standing, because when TUNKU asked me to do it up again, I said, I can't do it unless I tear everything down, just leave the pillars, because then only I can see what I want to be where. And where I'm standing right now, in this beautiful place, I love this room very much. So in Istana Abu Bakar, we have two halls. That is the airwell before. And so I've turned one airwell place, I put a roof over it, and so it's going to be the new dining room. It should be for about 50 people. And I have all around this would be the private wing of us upstairs, and just like this as well, all looking down to the dining room. So, but when I entertain, of course, I close it all up. But when I'm not entertaining, I'll make sure that the room has enough air circulating around it. So for the other airwell, which is on the other side, if you all go to Istana Baka, which I think a very interesting building for you to study, is just the old JKR building. You know, it's just one long rectangle building. So for the other side, I've turned it into Tuanku Sultan's office, which will be just as high as this. I mean, slightly, I think. 1, 2, 3. Maybe that what you see, that balcony up there, balustrade. So that will be his office. I put a roof as well. And now that doing this Hukum Kanun Pahang has opened up my eyes to many things. And suddenly I see in the Hukum Kanun Pahang book, the front cover, and I see these beautiful designs of, you know, the old carving, the old drawings of I don't know where it is from, whether it's from Brunei or Patani or whether it's local Pahang. But I've incorporated all that carving to be on the wall. So it's like, so that nobody can accuse me of bringing Johor into Pahang. It's a very sensitive subject. That everything I do, oh, that's a Johor taste, that's a Johor taste. No, no, no. This time, no. It's all from the Hukum Kanun Pahang book. So that will be Tuanku's new office. Even all the carpets, as I shared you today, will all come from this Hukum Kanun book. So what I want to do for Pahang is to give that historical architecture, historical interior architecture. I think I should take an interior architecture after this. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. So while writing my thesis, I'm going up and down here as well to make sure that the Istana is ready by next year. Okay. So as you all know, it's not easy restoring old buildings. I've had to take out every single wiring, every single piping, everything. And I don't know how JKR designed it before. Can you imagine, in one, we have the Suresh pipe going right across the head of where everybody is having their dinner, in the dining room. There's this, so that's all gone now. So hopefully, inshallah, yeah. And since I discovered that the whole rooftop is concrete as well, and there's another place that juts up like this, so I put up there a conservatory, so that at night I can look up at the stars. I can see the whole of Pekan. So the whole of Istana Baka is this height. Can you imagine the view of the whole of Pekan there is? So I want one day I'll take you all, come and see. And maybe by now it's too late to give ideas because I've done it. Even the architect is not allowed to interfere. I said, this is me, my building, this is my baby. You don't interfere. You just follow what I want. Okay. So that's when I should thank a husband who allows the wife to do everything. I think every husband should allow the wife to do everything what they want in the house, from the kitchen. So we have. So we have a main kitchen, and you have this kitchen here that will serve for the dining room here, another kitchen on the other side to serve the other dining room, which will be for 200. And of course, no architect, no JKR understand, why do you need so many kitchens? I say, because that one will serve this dining room, the other one will be the preparation for the other room. And of course, on top, I have my own kitchen, because I have to do my own, I want my own kitchen as well, which of course I have to design. And the whole of Istana is upstairs. There's 5 bedrooms on this row, very straight. It looks like a hotel before. And another on this side. So that side will be 1 5-bedroom, and that side will be 5-bedroom. And so the whole of the 5-bedroom there have been torn down. It will be my bedroom, my dressing room. And this side will be Tuanku's bedroom and his dressing room. And so I'm asked, why do you need the whole 5-bedroom as your dressing room? I said, I have to put my handbag, my shoes, my clothes, my many things that I've collected through my 40 years of marriage. Right? Okay, all right. It's not that I buy things in one go. Please understand, women. So that's my husband on the other side. And then we have a dining room upstairs, so I have to get his office. I need my storeroom. I need my needlework room. I need my hobby room. And there's no place there at all. But anyway, one day you all will come, all the ambassadors, when it's ready, yeah? And see, and then I want the architecture department then, here, the kuliah, to give me my honorary doctorate in architecture. honorary. But the real thing I will do next by October, hopefully I finish my master, then I'll go there. But that's a different PhD. But the honorary in architecture is from you all. Okay, no. Honestly, it's something that is, whenever I see a house being built in Pekan, I will go quietly after 5 o'clock. When all the contractors are, I will go in and I'll peep here and I say, why can't they think of this? I'm always observing and I'm always criticizing. So if Ihsan Ubaka is not right, then blame me. Yeah. So we also are doing with the museum now. Next year, we're going to start all out with the archaeological digs in Pahang. So we're going to, because we believe that Kota Gelangi is not in Johor, but Kota Gelangi is in Jerantut. So we're going to do a lot of research there on Kota Gelangi in Jerantut, and we're also doing in Tioman as well. Because what's beneath Pahang is not known yet. So that will be something for all historians to look forward to. We're going to do that with the museum in Pahang. And as I said just now, what I'm doing at Ihsan Ubaka, I think, has driven the architects slightly mad, as they now have to listen to what can only be described as a very bossy historian. In fact, this Maldives was also, if the Kuliah remembers, it was me who suggested that please go to the Maldives. Why go far when you have one so near? But the Maldives component of this exhibition was entirely my idea, so I have to take credit there a little bit. My relationship, my involvement in Maldives goes more than over 20 years ago. I know all the first ladies. I have so many friends in Maldives. If I go, I stay in any of the... By the way, you don't have to stay in all the most expensive resorts, because every island in Maldives is just as beautiful. Right, okay. So, as I said, I told the team to go to Maldives. I only wish I had the time to follow them. But I did go in December 2024. I took my children there and we went to see. And it is a subject that truly fascinates me, the Maldives. And also Kazan, we're planning to go with the president. But I don't want any bodyguard, no Russian security following me, because I want to travel relaxed. Because when too many guards around me, I can't do anything. All right. I just need a translator, that's all. Okay. So some people travel for leisure, but for me, it's always been looking at old buildings everywhere. And then I come back, and if only Ihsan Ubaka was much bigger, I think I'll have one Kazakhstan there, one Russia there, one St. Petersburg, and another Maldives here. Every corner of the palace would be the different countries, the different things that I like about architecture that I would incorporate. Yeah. So, and there's also another one impossible dream that I quietly keep to myself, and how I really wish that we could all go to Masjid Al-Aqsa and study it. Could one day be a future subject of study for the university. But for now, it remains a distant and perhaps impossible aspiration, but one that continues to live in the hearts of many of us. And I was just whispering to the president just now. I said, yes, we do 2 mosques abroad every year, but the 3rd mosque should be within Malaysia. And we have so many old mosques that needs to be studied as well. And if you notice, I don't really see many old palaces in Malaysia that is beyond 1860. But we do have mosques that's before 1860. So maybe the rulers of our time before, they focus more on the mosque rather than their own palaces. It was only after the 1850, maybe 1860. I know the Istana Besar in Johor was built in 1860-something, but all other palaces in Malaysia, I think, was built in the early 20th century. None so much. Maybe the end of the 19th century, yeah, but not so much. But we have in Indonesia, we have all the palaces that was built in early 18-something or late 17-something. But why in Malaysia can't we find old palaces? That has always been what I wanted to know. What would it have looked like? Was it wooden, that it didn't survive the tide of time? Why? And what would it have been like? So maybe it's about time that we do a study on all the old mosques, and perhaps from now on, whoever wants to build a mosque in Malaysia must be based on the Malaysian architecture, to give it the Malay Islamic look. Yeah, because we always look to Turkey, we look to Kazan, but Maldives is fascinating. Yeah. So the study of architectural heritage plays a vital role in preserving our past and shaping our future with meaning. By understanding the stories embedded within these structures, we gain a deeper appreciation of the artistry, the knowledge, and the devotion of those who came before us in submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This understanding serves as an inspiration for contemporary architects and designers to create spaces that are not only functional and beautiful, but also spiritually grounded. And as we all know, our president has the most beautiful mosque in Negeri Sembilan. I truly love, yeah. So in conclusion, I wish to commend the organizers, particularly the kuliah and the students of the Department of Architecture of IIUM, for their dedication in bringing this exhibition to life, and to Maldives and to Russia. Thank you very much. There's so many more that we all can look forward to traveling, but maybe next year if I have more time, not this year, I would join the students as well. And maybe be the bossy dean, the new dean, I think. Acting. Okay. I am confident that it will serve as a valuable educational resource, not only for the academic community, but also for the wider public. On this note, I hereby officially launch the 26th Architectural Heritage Studies Exhibition. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.
Ampun Tuanku. Please allow us to invite the President of IIUM to seek the permission and invite Her Royal Highness to officially launch the LARAS 2026 Architectural Heritage Studies exhibition in conjunction with KAET 30th anniversary. Let us now witness Her Royal Highness the TENGKU AMPUAN of PAHANG, Constitutional Head of IIUM, to launch the exhibition. Let us now witness Her Royal Highness the TENGKU AMPUAN of PAHANG, Constitutional Head of IIUM. Sorry, my apologies. It is also our great honor to invite Her Royal Highness to officiate the ceremonial cutting of the Pulut Kuning in conjunction with the celebration of KAET's 30th anniversary. Menjunjung kasih Tuanku atas limpah perkenan perasmian pameran. Your Royal Highness, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, I now have the pleasure to invite Honorable President of IIUM to seek the permission and invite Her Royal Highness the TENGKU AMPUAN of PAHANG, Constitutional Head of IIUM, to proceed for the royal tour of the LARAS exhibition.
Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, while your Royal Highness graciously proceed with the exhibition tour, may we kindly invite all distinguished guests to direct your attention to the screen for a video presentation. We hope you find it both informative and insightful.
И получается, вот в это время здесь при советской власти был военкомат. И в мечети, вот в мадресе, функцию мечети она не исполняла, была административным зданием. А сейчас, альхамдулилля, хвала Аллаху, она исполняет свои функции, как изначально задумывалось.
They were asking why she allowed the other people to build the mosques with the minaret. The answer from the Empress was quite amazing. I can give them place on earth, but I can't give them place in heaven and the sky. They can raise their minaret as far as they can.
И поэтому эту часть называют Забулачья, а эту часть Закабани.
Like I said in my lecture, Islam was introduced in 1853. So since then, we are 100% Muslim country. That mosque was renovated at a certain time, and then that renovated mosque was demolished. And the present mosque was built in the 15th century. In the 15th centuries, there were no architects. They were called master builders.
Not just the oldest mosque, as I said, but it is the biggest coral stone mosque you would find anywhere in the world.
Tells a lot of stories about where we came from and our conversion, reversion to Islam. It's symbolizes a lot of things for us.
И получается, вот в это время здесь при советской власти был военкомат. И в мечети, вот в мадресе, функцию мечети она не исполняла, была административным зданием. А сейчас, альхамдулилля, хвала Аллаху, она исполняет свои функции.
This is the Russian Federation, the largest nation on Earth, spanning 2 continents where Europe's forest meets Asia's horizons. Stretching across mountains, tundras and seas, Russia shares its borders with 14 nations from the icy fjord of Norway to the hills of North Korea. It is a land defined by vast forests, endless plains and rivers that have carried the flow of civilization for more than 1,000 years. Before the age of the Tsar and the Orthodox Church, the Volga River had already become a cradle of civilization, the first chapters of Russian history. In the 9th century, the Volga-Bulgaria region was already alive with trade and culture. The Turkic, Finno-Ugric, and Slavic peoples met along the Volga River. The early Bulgars practiced Tengrism, worshipping nature, ancestors, and spirits of the sky. In the 992 CE, Almiz Khan, ruler of Volga Bulgaria, welcomed emissary from the Abbasid Caliphate led by Ahmad ibn Fadlan. They accepted Islam through understanding, not conquest. Soon, the first call to prayer echoed across northern Eurasia, and the mosques and madrasas flourished in the city of Volga. But in the 13th to 14th century, the Mongols from the east invaded Volga Bulgaria. The land fell under the rule of the Golden Horde. From the mix of Bulgar, Turkic, and Mongol people, a new identity was born, the Tatars. After the fall of the Golden Horde, Kazan Khanate rose along the Volga under Ulu Muhammad. It became a strong center of trade, culture, and Islamic learning along the Volga River, linking it to Central Asia and Russia. Soon after, Ivan the Terrible marched from Moscow. The fall of Kazan began.
And in the middle of 16th century, we found in our main event, it's the year 1552. It's a year of conquest of Kazan Khanate by Russian Tsar Ivan the Terrible. Because this year and this event was one of the most tragical period for Tatar folk and for our Kazan citizens too.
Under his command, the mosques were replaced with Orthodox Church, and the voice of Islam was driven into the shadows. In the 18th century, a new light appeared under Catherine the Great. She allowed them to worship freely again and supported the building of the Marconi Mosque near Lake Kaban, the first mosque officially permitted under Russian rule. When criticized for its tall minaret, she replied, "I own the land, not the skies." Her reforms opened a new chapter for Islam in Russia, but this revival didn't last forever.
And And of course, during the Soviet times, there was another movement, which is, again, we demolished the mosques, and a lot of mosques were used not on their religious purpose.
Kazan, a capital city of the Khanate of Kazan, where cultures meet and never collide, lies at the meeting point of the Volga and Kazanka rivers. Today, it remains one of Russia's most culturally diverse cities, where Tatar Muslims and Orthodox Russian walk the same streets. Every day, along the Volga and Kazanka embankment, the city moves at a human pace. At the heart of the city lies Bowman Street, a lively pedestrian avenue filled with cafes, artists, and street performers. It's where Kazan's pulse can be felt most strongly, a space for students, travelers, and locals all blend into one moving crowd. Just beyond the busy streets, the calm waters of Kaban Lake reflects the city's balance between nature and life. Joggers race the water's edge, cyclists weave past families on evening walks, and anglers cast quietly from the steps and piers. Within the Tatar village, craftsmanship remains at the heart of cultural memory. The smooth cut of leatherwork, the Persian rhythm of textile weaving, and delicate precision of embroidery and lace. In Tatar tradition, every meal is a form of community served during celebrations and remembrance alike. The aroma of ishpushma, warm and familiar, connecting hearts across generations. As the day softens into evening, footsteps lead once more towards the Zakabanaya Mosque, the place where Kazan's story continues. The story of the Zakabanaya Mosque begins in the early 20th century, designed by Alexander Efimovich Peshnikov. Its name is derived from the Russian words meaning beyond Kaban, where it refers to its location across Lake Kaban in a time of awakening and remembrance for the Tatar people. By the early 1900s, Kazan stood at the crossroads of change. In the final years of Imperial Russia, that dream took the form of a plan to build the Zakabanaya Mosque. Planned between 1914 and 1916, the mosque was meant to commemorate the Islam's arrival in Volga, Bulgaria, a tribute to Al-Masjid's embrace of the faith centuries before.
Ее реализовали как раз к тысячелетию принятия ислама в Волжской Булгарии. То есть 1000 лет назад, 1900, получается, 24 году, было 1000 лет, когда Волжская Булгария приняла ислам.
But history took a different turn. The Russian Revolution swept across the empire, stopping the construction as the Tsar's rule collapsed and chaos filled the land. Through civil war and political upheaval, the Tatar community never gave up on their vision.
It was very important step in the history of Tatar folk because during, I think, 2 centuries, more than 2 centuries, Tatar folk couldn't create their own religious building, their mosques. All of mosques from the Kazan Khanate period were destroyed by the Russian government.
At last, between 1924 and 1926, they completed the Zakabanaya Mosque even under Soviet rule, when religion was forbidden in Tatarstan during the Soviet era. Under Stalin's rule, public worship almost disappeared. Yet, the mosque remained standing through years of neglect, its wall remembering the prayers once spoken, while the call to prayer lived on quietly in people's hearts. Then, in the late 1980s, Mikhail Gorbachev reforms, perestroika and glasnost reopened long-closed doors. Mosques were restored, voices returned, and faith began to breathe again. By 1999, the Zakabanaya Mosque was officially reopened to worshippers and act as a symbol of rebirth after 70 years of silence. After the fall of the Soviet Union, Tatarstan regained its autonomy and Kazan entered a new era of revival. Moving from its history to its physical form, the Zakabandaya Mosque presents an architecture that balances simplicity with meaning. Its structure and detailing speak to a community rooted in tradition, yet responsive to its changing surroundings. The exterior of Zakabandaya Mosque shows refined craftsmanship. It is a two-story brick structure with a corner minaret and a rectangular plan. The mosque is built mainly of red brick, and white plastered detailing outlines each of the edge, arch, and opening, adding rhythm and lightness to the facade. An octagonal minaret rises gracefully at one corner with a crescent on top. As seen in other mosques in Kazan, such as Bunayevskaya Mosque and Apanevskaya Mosque, the crescent's two pointed horns are traditionally understood as guiding the direction towards Mecca. At its base are decorative brick panels and a small circular balcony that highlights its craftsmanship. The three-tiered minaret is said to represent the pre-Islamic past, the Islamic Golden Age, and the modern Tatar identity. The arched windows are framed by ornamental brickwork, blending Islamic geometric patterns with local Tatar motifs. Unlike Sultanovskaya Mosque that feature rounded arches, the Zakabandaya Mosque is distinct for its three pointed arched windows, giving the facade a sharper and more vertical expression. Step cornices, plaster moldings, and pilasters add balance to the wall, while Moorish-style decoration above the entrances give depth and elegance to the simple red brick design. The interior of the mosque follows a simple and functional layout. The entrance leads to a small vestibule that acts as transition space before entering the prayer hall. The main prayer hall is a large rectangular space filled with natural light from tall arched windows. The mihrab marks the direction of Qibla and becomes the main visual focus of the room. On the upper floor, an open hall connects to the spiral staircase of the minaret and leads to two imams' rooms and a classrooms for Quranic lessons and community learning. Most of the walls and ceiling on the upper floor are made of timber. The Zakabandaya Mosque features a multi-level layout: ground floor, mezzanine floor, and first floor. Timber beams were used together with load-bearing brick walls and interior columns. These central columns reduce the need for long spans, helping distribute weight more efficiently across the prayer hall. Functionally, this floor system helped organize the mosque vertically. Load-bearing walls beneath the mezzanine distributed the structural weight effectively, preventing the formation of the timber beams and ensuring long-term safety. The wall system of the Zakabandaya Mosque forms its structural backbone, built entirely from thick red brick. These load-bearing walls support the roof, the mezzanine, and the first floor. Their heavy timber mass also protects the interior from Kazan's harsh winters. This use of red brick reflects the national romantic style of early 20th century Kazan, moving away from early white stone traditions and expressing a distinctly local identity. The Zakabandaya Mosque features a low-pitched main roof over the central prayer hall. A small dome may mark the Qibla direction, combining symbolism with functionality. The minaret's top platform is supported by strong brickwork to withstand vertical and wind loads. The roof is covered with durable sheet metal, protecting the structure from heavy snow.
Самый распространенный цвет кровельного покрытия, кровли, это был зеленый, такой насыщенно зелено-болотный цвет, не знаю, как это сказать, ну пусть будет зеленый, да, легче. Зеленый и коричневый, это сурик, такая краска сурик. И, как правило, использовался либо зеленый, либо сурик коричневый.
The roof not only ensures durability, but also harmonizes with the Zakabandaya Mosque's architectural and cultural character. Within the Zakabandaya Mosque, wooden carvings showcase a century-old tradition of Islamic artistry. blending craftsmanship, spirituality, and cultural identity.
Modern. Она на тот период она была такая стильная, современная, выполненная в стилистике того времени. На тот период это было модно, а модно было стиль эклектика с использованием именно как бы восточной архитектуры, да, как раз мавританский стиль, сельджукский стиль, мавлюкский стиль. И по всей стране строились вот такие мечети с элементами, я бы не сказал, да, то есть она не прям казанская, то есть прям вот казанского, наверное, в ней, ну, я не прям вижу, она такая именно интернациональная, international мозг. Наверное, кое-что, один элемент татарский я все-таки скажу. Это у минарета завершение балкона, балкон в виде тюльпана.
The use of organic floral motifs align with Islamic principles that avoid depictions of humans and animals. Tatar artisans in Kazan combined Islamic decorative principles with local motifs, producing intricate carvings that symbolizes paradise, divine unity, and the cycle of life. The ornamentation enhances the mosque's beauty while reinforcing the spiritual and cultural values of the community. The Sakabandaya Mosque reveals the idea of architectural interpretation. Some elements were created based on how architects from outside the region imagined Tatar architecture to be.
Ну, я не знаю, правильно вы сказали, то есть это не развитие татарских традиций со времен казанских. Давайте не будем так много говорить. Это интерпретация российских, более того, петербургских архитекторов, как они, архитекторы из Петербурга, представляют себе казанскую татарскую архитектуру.
It reflects a transitional language in Tatar architecture, where Islamic traditions harmonize with European architectural influence. The Sakabandaya Mosque remains a spiritual center for the Tatar Muslim community. Every day, worshippers make their way from nearby streets and homes, entering the mosque with quiet greetings and familiar warmth. As the adhan fills the air, the prayer hall becomes a space of stillness. There are movements create a rhythm that shapes the pace of daily life. The madrasa, which is next to the mosque, also remains an active space that supports the religious and educational life of the community. Children and adults sit together, reading Quranic verses, learning ethics, and strengthening their understanding of faith. During Ramadan, the mosque becomes especially active with nightly Tarawih prayers.
The Tarawih prayer is performed here, and when there is Tarawih, so not all the mosques of Kazan have the Qari who can recite the whole Quran, but the Sakabandaya Mosque have one.
Despite its beauty, the Sakabandaya Mosque faces several challenges in serving its growing community. The mosque was built at a time where the neighborhood population was much smaller, and today, the main prayer hall cannot accommodate everyone during Friday prayers or Ramadan. Many worshippers pray in corridors, near entrances, or even outside, especially during peak hours.
And I remember that there was no place enough for women to pray, and we were praying outside on just the code that we had with us.
This is partly influenced by local tradition, where women often pray at home. But as more women now choose to visit the mosque, the available space no longer fully supports their needs. These challenges reveal the delicate balance between protecting a heritage building and meeting the growing needs of its community. Sakabandaya Mosque continues to serve with devotion, supported by the resilience and care of the people who gather here.
coral remembers the touch of belief. Each tide whispers the call to prayer. With stone and salt, time still bows. Upon that sacred ground rose old Friday Masjid. Coral stone structure carved by time and belief.
The Sultan of the Maldives, he wanted to build a new mosque. So he gathered all the talent and skills and all the resources available back then, and then he built the mosque that we see.
From the heart of the Indian Ocean, the Maldives, a chain of coral islands once linked to the world through wind, tide, and trade. Archaeological findings reveal Maldivian cowrie shells traveling far to the Indus Valley and even ancient China. It was once used as currency and ornaments. This shows that the Maldives was not isolated, but part of an active trade network, a place where life was organized, connected, and thriving. Temples rose across the atolls, their ancient beliefs endured, worships of goddesses and spirits from older Dravidian traditions. By the 8th century, Bengal's influence appeared, Vajrayana Buddhist symbols carved in stone, a trace of the island's early spiritual world. Then came the 12th century. A Moroccan traveler, Abu al-Barakat Yusuf al-Barbari, arrived upon these shores. Moved by the miracle, King Dovemi embraced Islam, taking the name Muhammad ibn Abdullah. He then ordered the temples replaced with mosques, and in 1153 CE, the Maldives became a Muslim nation.
Like I said in my lecture, Islam was introduced in 1153. Since then, we are a 100% Muslim country.
Malé, the beating heart of the Maldives, situated on Malé Atoll, about 645 kilometers southwest of Sri Lanka, this island capital is one of the most densely populated cities in the world. Over 200,000 residents live within just 9 square kilometers of land. Malé stands as the political, economic, and cultural center of the nation, home to the presidential palace, government offices, bustling markets, also big and tall landmarks that carry the soul of Maldivian history.
This is why after all these years, it is still regarded as the eminent building in this country. You know, they have skyscrapers and all that. Not skyscrapers, tall buildings.
Historically, Malé was once a fortified royal city, protected by strong walls and fortresses, a seat of ancient dynasties that once ruled the Maldives. However, with the abolition of the monarchy in 1968, President Ibrahim Nasir led a bold remodeling of the city, and the old fortifications were torn down to make way for a new modern era. Still, the echoes of history remain. Amid the city's narrow streets stands the Hukuru Miski, the old Friday Masjid, a timeless monument built from coral stone and one of the most sacred symbols of Maldivian heritage. Today, Malé remains the spiritual and cultural heart of the Maldives, a guardian of Islamic tradition and the gateway through which faith and history first flowed across these islands. A city where the past and present meet, forever surrounded by the sea. The culture of Maldives is shaped by the island's unique landscape, deep history, and enduring Islamic legacy. Music and dance bring people together. The rhythmic beat of Bodu Beru and the graceful Bandia Jehun echo through weddings and festivals, celebrating unity and joy. From delicate lacquer work and woven mats to dishes like mashuni and garudia, Maldivian craftsmanship and cuisine reflect both simplicity and creativity drawn from the sea and the land.
Traditional garments such as divehi libas and mundu are still proudly worn, connecting generations through heritage. Language, poetry, and games like Baibala and Bashi keep the spirit of community alive, blending play, art, and storytelling. Here in the Maldives, the old and the new coexist harmoniously, a culture rooted in faith, shaped by the ocean, and carried proudly into the future. Culture of Malay. Though modernization moves quickly, faith remains at the heart of Maldivian life, guiding law, education, architecture, and traditions that define the nation's soul. Malay, a city where life flows through every narrow street, every smile, every shared moment connecting people together. Even the smallest things are celebrated. From a new film release to a street performance, the people of Malay turn ordinary days into moments of joy. The spirit of togetherness thrives here. Youngsters fill the day with football and carom games, their voices and support echoing through the city. Elders too stay active. Each morning, many gather at the artificial beach, keeping their bodies and hearts strong. Trade and tradition move hand in hand. From fruits to marine goods, the people of Malay share the island's blessings with the world. However, when the call to prayer echoes, everything pauses. Shops close, voices soften, and the city breathes in peace. As the day is slowly swallowed by the evening breeze, parents walk with their children by the sea, where the air carries stories and laughter. Malay, a city that never sleeps, yet never forgets its soul. And at its heart stands a timeless symbol of faith, the old Friday Masjid, where the story of devotion begins. In the heart of Malay, a coral sanctuary stands the old Friday Masjid. More than coral and craft, it is a story carved by faith and preserved by time. Built upon the sacred ground where Islam first reached the Maldives in 1153 CE, the first masjid was commissioned by Sultan Muhammad ibn Abdullah, the island's first Muslim ruler. Centuries later, under Sultan Ibrahim Iskandar I in 1656, a new Friday masjid rose from the same site and was completed in 1658. Each reconstruction layering devotion upon devotion, never moving from its sacred earth.
So Hukur Miski was the modern building you see was first built, started building in 1656. It was completed in 1658.
The ocean provided what the land could not. Coral stone, once alive beneath the waves, now transformed into walls that carry the prayers of centuries. Long before coral, the earliest masjids were built in timber and thatch, humble shelters that gave way to stone as the island's devotion deepened. Each block was quarried from living leaves, soaked and sun-dried, carved into intricate forms and joined without mortar, an art form unique to the Indian Ocean. The 17th century marked a new era of Islamic craftsmanship in the Maldives, when coral met calligraphy and geometry shaped faith. Each feature marked a new chapter. The Munaru, or minaret, inspired by Sumara, Iraq, completed in 1674, and the southern gateway that became the first Quranic school, built in 1676, but removed in 1963, both reminders that knowledge and worship once stood side by side.
The minaret you see there, it was built in 1668. After 20 years of the Sultan's reign, it was built. After the Hajj prayers, Hajj pilgrimage, he came back and rebuilt the minaret. And also he built a gate to the mosque. It is not there anymore. The gate was traditional Maldivian gate, said 2 seats on both sides, seating where a scholar will sit there and teach children Quran and fiqh and basic Islamic things.
From coral walls to carved gates, The old Friday Masjid stands as a timeline in stone, telling of sultans, scholars, and the sea that shaped their faith. The old Friday Masjid stands as a masterpiece of Maldivian heritage, where Islamic artistry, local craftsmanship, and South Asian influences unite in harmony. It is richly adorned with coral stone carvings, lacquered timber, and delicate ornamentation, a reflection of faith, identity, and skill. Unlike the later Grand Friday Masjid built in 1984 with concrete and marble, TUNKU Miskin preserves the earlier tradition of coral and timber craftsmanship. Beside the masjid rises the minaret of Sultan Ibrahim Iskandar's time. Its circular tower bears his emblem, and around it the call to prayer is carved, words of azan preserved in stone for centuries. Within the same compound rests the royal tomb, cemetery, a sacred space where sultans, nobles, and scholars lie beneath intricately carved coral tombstones, each inscribed with Arabic verses and prayers. The masjid's roof is built in graceful, tiered layers, a form that uplifts the spirit and cools the space within. Through its clerestory openings, soft daylight filters in, while sea breezes move gently across the prayer hall. Compared to the single hall form of the Malay Eid Masjid, TUNKU Miskin's tiered roof and raised platform reflect a more complex and ceremonial spatial hierarchy. The exterior walls, crafted from interlocked coral stones without mortar, stand as proof of ancient precision and enduring strength. On them, carvings of ropes and knots recall Maldivian seafarers, while the door motif symbolizes Islam as the path to life, the very keystone of the structure.
So the rope and the knot is used in symbolic manners in all maritime cultures.
TUNKU Miskin's coral block construction indicates greater royal investment and craftsmanship in comparison to the traveling masjid's 1789 vernacular timber form. Inside, the prayer hall glows with carved wooden beams and lacquered panels, detailed with inscriptions that honor both God and craftsmanship. Surrounding verandas extend the space for Friday prayers, creating a seamless blend between devotion and community. The old Friday Masjid remains a living heritage, adapting through time, yet forever holding the soul of Malay. Beneath its calm exterior, the old Friday Masjid is a masterpiece of interlocking craft, where coral stone and timber hold each other in perfect balance. The foundation of the old Friday Masjid begins with a raised plinth of massive coral stone blocks. These blocks were cut, dressed, and interlocked directly on level ground, forming a shallow but stable foundation system perfectly adapted to the island's geology. TUNKU Miskin stands on a coral-based platform that distributes weight across the soft, sandy soil. Its elevation protects the masjid from flooding and monsoon rains, allowing the structure to survive for more than 360 years. Above the foundation, the coral stone walls rise in interlocking layers, built using hirigaluvadan or coral stone carpentry. These walls use a load-bearing wall system where they support the weight of the roof and structure without depending on the mortar. Instead, every block is fitted with such precision that only hairline joints appear between them.
The wall system is basically is a wall and beam construction, or it's not post and beam. So they are integrated load-bearing walls.
At the upper levels, timber lintels, frames, and beams are inserted into the coral walls using the same interlocking method, creating a hybrid structural system where coral stone carries the load and timber helps stabilize and distribute it. Resting on the coral walls is a sophisticated timber roof structure. Heavy hardwood beams crafted from teak and coconut timber span across the hall, forming the primary support for the roof. These beams are connected using traditional carpentry, including mortise and tenon joints, wooden pegs, and notched intersections, with no metal nails involved. This method allows the structure to flex slightly during strong winds and monsoon storms. Above the beams, lighter rafters form the steep tiered roof, originally covered in palm thatch and later replaced with tiles and corrugated sheets.
All the tropical countries you will find very low roof, overhanging big because you need protection from the driving rain and the sun.
It is believed that the Old Friday Masjid was the first masjid in Malay. Many assumed it was the earliest and imagined it to be a small structure.
But it is the biggest coral stone mosque you would find anywhere in the world.
As the interviews clarified the truth, it was not the first, and in reality, it is the largest coral masjid in the world. Here, every generation finds its place. The young come to learn, the old come to remember, yet both answer the same call. Even today, as the city grows busier and its streets fill with new voices, Fridays remain a sacred pause in Malay's rhythm. Men perform wudu at the wells, the scent of coral and salt in the air. Others sit beneath the shade, reciting verses before the call to prayer. When the adhan echoes, rows upon rows fill the hall, a sea of devotion flowing through stone, unchanged by time. As the sun sets upon the coral walls, light reveals what time cannot erase, faith carved into stone, and unity shaped through craft. In a city undergoing rapid urban growth, the coral masjid stands fragile yet firm, reminding us that heritage is not just to be seen, but to be protected. The question remains, how do we preserve what the ocean once built?
But I think given that it is a very old structure, so the maintaining and the preservation of the mosque is the main challenge.
In the scattered islands of the Maldives, history lives not only in stories but in stone. From ancient beliefs to the arrival of Islam, from the rise of Malay to the royal legacy of the Old Friday Masjid, each chapter shaped a nation. The Old Friday Masjid stands as a testament, coral drawn from the sea, timber shaped by hand, inscriptions echoing centuries of devotion. More than a monument, it is a memory that endures, a reminder that heritage is not the past left behind, but the past carried forward.
И получается, вот в это время здесь при советской власти был военкомат. И в мечети, вот в мадресе, функцию мечети она не исполняла, была административным зданием. А сейчас, альхамдулилля, хвала Аллаху, она исполняет свои функции, как изначально задумывалось.
They were asking why she allowed the other people to build the mosques with the minaret. The answer from the Empress was quite amazing. I can give them place on earth, but I can't give them place in heaven and the sky. They can raise their minaret as far as they can.
И поэтому эту часть называют за Булачья, а эту часть за Кабани.